They're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. Missed the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to The Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews.
Ladies and gentlemen, I used to be so happy to watch that clip of Justin Fields, and now it's just a dull moment, but it's okay. Well, I'm sure we'll get there. Welcome back. This is episode 40. A little fun fact for you: we've been doing this podcast for 280 days.
Almost a year. Almost a year. We're 12 weeks out.
Doing pretty good, but
How was your vacation?
It was good. It was a lot of fun. I had to mess with you guys. I mean, I had to, So, I had to mess with you guys just a little bit. But you guys did a phenomenal job. Props to Matt, and then props to you for really bringing home a great show. But this is the thing, man, and I guess I'll dive into it just a little bit. Dip our toes in the water just a little bit. The Bears really know how to get somebody's hopes up, man. They really do. And it's so disappointing because when I watched that Bears and Vikings game, I had no intentions of thinking that the Bears were going to come out of that with a win. No way. They didn't, but they put up one heck of a fight against somebody I think has a pretty decent chance in the NFC. Not only that, the Vikings?
Oh, the Vikings. I thought you were talking about the you're good.
The Vikings, they look really good.
Yes.
And the fact that the Bears were able to compete with them to the point to where it was like they're still in this within the last minute, like that's pretty big. As far as that goes, I was like, all right, cool. When I go and watch this game on the flight for the Bears and the Commanders, there's no way they're losing that game because they're not really losing anybody due to injury or anything like that. Maybe we'll come out with a win. I don't know if you saw my Twitter, but that was the angriest I have ever been after a Bears fan.
Oh, yeah.
Or after a Bears game.
Yep.
We'll get into weekly recap after this, but I just want to go through because I've been pretty much silent ever since on Twitter.
Yeah.
I said I'm so exhausted about venting about the Bears week in and week out, but here we go. It's not Fields, so stop acting like it is. I don't care what the new regime thinks about the QBs on the board during the draft. Invest around him and then see what he can do. However, I have to admit that one overthrow that he had in the end zone was horrible. That was a layup pass.
That's not the only bad play by him.
That wasn't, but we can talk about it. And I hope that you're not talking about the David Montgomery was wide open. Are you serious?
Yep.
Buddy, okay. Anyways, the wide receiver core around Fields is horrible. Even if Poles trades for DJ Moore, this wide receiver core is mediocre at best. You'd have wide receiver 1, Mooney, and a bunch of bums that either A, can't catch a football, or B, can't hold on to a football. Those pretty much mean the same thing, too. That just pretty much tells you how mad I was. And then I said, how about that D-line, that awesome defense the Bears were supposed to have, the same one that led a 1-4 team into the end zone with a running back that just had his first game on Sunday? Really? Said, and then you want to applaud the coaching staff for being gutsy, for having guts, for going for it on 4th down. But going for it on 4th and long on the 49-yard line, come on, man, punt the ball. I said, I've had enough of Chicago this week, man. I'm sick. The weak airline Wi-Fi I used to watch the game held up better than the Bears' offensive line. Unbelievable. I laid into them. But here's the thing, too. Yeah. I don't know if you saw it. Matt tagged me in it, so props to Matt. He made me feel a little bit better about the situation as far as David Montgomery being wide open on the left-hand side. No quarterback in the entire league is going to be looking at David Montgomery. That's a fifth read. And what?
I disagree. Saying no quarterback in the NFL, the top tier quarterbacks would have. Mahomes would have and yes, no one's expecting her or Fields to be like this top tier quarterback right now in the NFL.
It's not even that though. It's not. It's the way. It's the matchup. It's the way that the line moved. I will say it's the overall development of the play. The fact that it's designed for Justin Fields to start with his back to the end zone, like. Overall play design was horrible. But here's what I will say too to back your argument. There's only so much time before I stop backing this guy. There's only so much time before I get annoyed and I'm like, you know what? Go against the coaching staff then. Like literally do your job as quarterback to find an open man and make the play because that's your job. Like there's only so much time. Right now I'm not into that, but there will be a time. Hopefully not, but there probably will be a time because this is going to be an overall frustrating season for me.
Not 7 wins.
Dude, you're so privileged. Like I'm so jealous of you and your team. But, you know, I don't know. Here's the thing too. Odds are, and I'm reading a lot. I'm hopeful, but I'm reading a lot that the Bears are going to be sellers during the trade before the trade deadline. We'll get there. Anyways.
I honestly, if the point, like if the Bears want to have, for some reason, if the Bears are like, all right, we at least want to compete and show that Justin Fields is a guy, which I understand. Now, honestly, I think this is the best thing. If I'm a GM, if I'm Poles, I'm trying to see this year if Justin Fields can be that guy. So if I need to next year, I can get a quarterback. I'm going out and getting a Chase Claypool or a DJ Moore or both, give him some weapons, someone to actually throw to, and see if he can do it. Because if you figure that out now, if you guys figure that out now and you guys trade for someone, you pick it up, awesome. You don't got to worry about getting a quarterback. But if you trade for these guys and you're still trash, now you're in an awesome position to get a CJ Stroud, a Bryce Young, a Will Levis.
Here's the thing, too. If you're not upgrading, like you said, the wide receiver or the offensive line, and you still draft that quarterback, you're still at the first step.
It's the same situation. Yeah.
It is. And that's what people aren't talking about. When people want to resort immediately, Justin Fields isn't the guy, we should immediately back out of him for the situation because he's not the guy, then, okay, cool. We're still at square one with a brand new quarterback that has zero professional experience compared to Justin Fields that just got enough, the equivalent of one full season. Are you willing to let another young guy try and develop? Are you willing to be patient enough to let another guy into the program? Or do you want somebody that could potentially develop into a win now guy with the pieces around him for wide receivers and offensive line? And I think Fields can do it. I mean, he's shown enough flashes with garbage to the point to where I think that he could do it. Not only that, but Darnell Mooney was able to get over 1,000 yards as wide receiver too. I mean, everybody was covering Allen Robinson because if you don't cover Allen Robinson, then he's another weapon. But if you get the second ranked quarterback on or corner on your team and, have him defend Darnell Mooney, he's creating a lot of separation. But it's time to recognize that Darnell Mooney is not a wide receiver one in the NFL. And it's just that simple. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's maybe a wide receiver 2, or no, he's maybe even a wide receiver 3 in some situations. I'll be completely honest with you. Darnell Mooney's good, but he'd be a really good wide receiver 3 if you have 2 other guys that are above him.
My goodness, bring him here in Philly, dude.
Imagine
Philly where you could just stretch the field as wide receiver 3, and all we got to do is say go run. Awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Because what else do you need in that team? Jesus Christ. Anyways, let's go ahead and do the weekly recap. I'm exhausted just over my Bears right now. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm so just, dude. I'm tired of getting clowned, man. You know how much every single time I see a meme about Monday Night Football this upcoming Monday, it's oh man, two offensive juggernauts, Yeah, you know what? We both teams score more than the Super Bowl champions, okay? You can shut up. Anyways, Commanders beat the Bears 12-7 in the most boring football game I've ever watched, right up there next to the Colts and the Broncos. Giants beat the Ravens 24-20. Colts beat the Jaguars 34-27. Patriots beat the Browns 38-15. Bengals beat the Saints 30-26. Steelers beat the Buccaneers 20-18. Falcons beat the 49ers 28-14. Jets beat the Packers 27-10. Vikings beat the Dolphins 24-16. Rams beat the Panthers 24-10. Seahawks beat the Cardinals 19-9. Bills beat the Chiefs 24-20. Eagles beat the Cowboys 26-17, and then the Chargers beat the Broncos 19-16. Well, oh God, I don't know, man. I'll say this really quick, just because of overreactions is what we're going into next. So here's, okay. You look at it, right? The Bears defense has not held up as well as I would have liked it to. That front line is terrible. If they're shopping around Robert Quinn, why not pair it with a pick to send it to Carolina? Like, let's do it. Honestly, get the offense another weapon if it's not going to benefit the defense. But here's the thing. What I'm scared of, really quick, and there's two things. I'm scared that Poles is going to ship Roquan and Robert Quinn without getting any actual pieces that he can use to maybe benefit the offense now. Instead, he'll use it as like a draft pick or something like that. And I'm only scared because that doesn't help entertainment factor. Like, I don't want to play the long game. I'm so impatient with this team. I've been waiting for so long. Number 2. The Patriots offense has scored a lot of points within the last couple weeks. They scored a ton against the Lions, and they've scored a ton against the Browns as well. And the Browns have a significantly better defense than, dare I say they have a better defense than the Bears? They should be pretty close, but whatever. The thing is, though, they've scored a lot of points, and the Bears can't even knock off the Commanders. Like, Bailey Zappi's looking pretty good. If I'm Mac Jones, I might be a little terrified, but I don't know.
We love the Bailey Zappi hype train. We're here for it.
Anyways, okay. I don't know. Do you have overreactions written down? Because I totally have a couple.
No, I have like a 4. I have 4.
Let's go ahead and start with yours.
Yeah, Bronco Country, you suck.
Yeah.
Like, it's awful. No, it is awful. To me, probably the biggest disappointment that we've seen all season from any team specifically. It's not good. And honestly, it seems like players are like slowly like turning against Russell. And that's like kind of sad. Like, we saw, I think it was Jerry Jeudy and Melvin Gordon, like talking on the sideline. We couldn't see what they were saying, but they were clearly mad. Dude's just corny. And we heard in Seattle too. I think it was Richard Sherman and not Tyler Lockett. This is gonna bug me. It was Richard Sherman and then a wide receiver, like Russ's favorite target. I'm blanking on the name right now. But they were like on a podcast talking. No, it was in Seattle.
Oh, never mind. Tyler Lockett or
not DK, not Tyler. It was a dude, right? Like he was playing.
During the Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy.
Go ahead. Though.
Anyways, though, but we heard them talk about like how he was cheesy and like people didn't like him and people didn't think he was a good leader. And I think we're seeing that rear its ugly head here. It's just wildly disappointing. And
I know the name now. I can spoil it for you, but I'd rather.
What is it? What is it? No, just say it.
Doug Baldwin.
That's what it is. But like they went on saying he was cheesy. They didn't like him. It's rearing its ugly head here in Denver. And then the other like disappointment that I have is the Ravens. They started off really hot, and then they just seem to be losing these games, and they seem to not be able to like pull away when it matters. But like in terms of like shockers and like my overreactions of like the week is both New York teams. And well, I mean, I guess you could say all three New York teams, but we expected the Bills to be good. But the Jets and the Giants. And I think it's about time that we actually have to have this conversation about the Giants. Like, are the Giants pushing to be a playoff team? I mean, right now they're second place in the division, tied with Dallas. I guess they're not tied with Dallas because Dallas owns the tiebreaker against them because that was their only loss. But I mean, the Giants are a good team, and it's like it's shocking that team's awful. I said that to you today. Brian Daboll is killing it there. They're a little concerning. I do think at the end of the day they're not it. Like I still think it's like this little spark, like last year's Cardinals or something. But it's caught me off guard.
Yeah, before, just kind of expanding on that. I'm looking at their schedule right now because it's like how realistic is the dream in New York? And their offense has almost like a fluky feel to it where I'm kind of I really don't want to trust this team.
No.
Their next games, so Giants Jaguars, Giants Seahawks, and Giants Texans for the next 3 weeks. I could see at least 2 wins out of that.
They could realistically go 3-0 in that stretch.
They could, yeah. Lions, Cowboys, Commanders for the next 3. So a little bit tougher stretch. It's going to test their defense a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to say at least 2 out of that could probably be the ceiling. They're going to lose one of those just because they're the Giants. Eagles, Commanders, Vikings, Colts, and then Eagles again round off. I'm going to say they're going to beat the Eagles on the last end just because the Eagles are going to claim the number 1. Yeah. But what I will say, I'm going to say, that Giants and Vikings matchup should be pretty solid. Just because the Vikings couldn't really stop the run that much. The Colts look like trash. I mean, you're realistically speaking, I mean, I could see that because they're already 5-1. I could see them winning easily 10 games this season, at least. 10
they
games
could
this
be.
season.
They could be they're definitely a wild card team. The only reason I'm saying wild card is because the Eagles are going to win that division. But like, they're a wild card team. Like, I would not at all be surprised. I mean, they're going to get swamped come playoff time. But
if they're able to get Odell Beckham Jr. back in New York, that team, and I know it's unlikely. We'll get there too because it's in weekly news. But, I would say because they had him for a visit, they're at least in the running. Like, why not? Why not think about that? That's a wide receiver room that desperately needs help. If they're able to swing a deal for a wide receiver, even if it's not OBJ, let's say that they get DJ Moore, right? I mean, that's a pretty solid. That's a pretty solid wide receiver. You match him up with Sterling Shepard, which I know that he's hurt right now,
and he's out for the season. He tore his ACL.
Yeah, but like Kenny Galladay, for example, and I'm just talking in the future as well.
Yeah.
But if Kenny Galladay, I mean, right now, because Kenny Galladay is the number 1 wide receiver on that team, you put DJ Moore on the opposite end of him, like you're talking a little bit more separation. If he can get more targets and catch the ball, like actually hold on to it, maybe he can be this can be a dangerous team. Saquon's playing out of his mind. This is crazy. But I don't know. Do you have a couple more?
Well, I have the Jets, but my last thing is they're in like such a weird position because Daniel Jones is not the guy, and everyone knows Daniel Jones is not the guy. But if he goes to a playoff spot, like
he's not leading them there, though.
I know, and that's where it's
like
tough,
right now.
But you can't get rid of it. It's a tough position in terms of quarterback.
It is.
But like the last one is the other New York team, the Jets. I remember at the beginning of the season, before the season started, me and you were like, we watched a video of this dude like rattling off like the Jets, and he was like, the Jets are a 10-win team. They're going to win this. They're going to win this game. And we're like, this dude's crazy. What is he talking about? They're 4-2 now, man.
Might I add too? I had the Jets winning 10 games in my my predictions. Just want to put it out there. And it looks pretty like it looks like it might be a possibility. I don't know. It's the New York Jets that we're talking about. Like, how serious can this actually get? And the two New York teams, or I guess three, but the two that have New York in their name are the most untrustworthy, fluke-bound teams in the whole league, and I'm just nervous about it generally. I don't know. What do you think?
That's what I'm saying. It's so tough because, like, they're not, like, their roster tells you they're not going to be a good team, but somehow, I mean, they're pulling it out and they're shocking everyone, and it's so tough. And this is coming from an NFC East fan. It's so tough to root against these guys because they're so bad and they're still winning.
It's difficult, and especially as a Bears fan, just looking at this, like, we should be there, but we're not. Anyways, it's fine. For mine, I have, I mean, you already talk about a lot of them. The Broncos are going to secure a top 10 pick. What the heck? Like, who would have guessed? But the Jets are playoff bound. I'll say it. I think that they could make the playoffs. They could be a wild card squeeze in. The Giants are. This is an overreaction that I saw online that I'm listing as an overreaction, but it is not my reaction. Just want to note that. Somebody said the Giants can be NFC Championship contenders. Like, going to the NFC Championship.
No.
In that run game, if they're able to, like, I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
That's bad.
The Buccaneers are washed up.
Yeah, I've been saying that, man.
This is just bad. This is so disappointing. Somebody said that the Browns are in trouble, and I don't think so.
They don't have their franchise guy.
They don't. And it's annoying because nobody is rooting for the Browns at this point, unless you're a Browns fan. And I mean,
I know a lot of Browns fans who aren't rooting for them.
Dude, my family doesn't even know how to react, and half of them are from Cleveland. Like,
yeah,
we're going for the Bears, but it's like, okay, the Browns are in a much better situation than the Bears right now, and it's just, how could you not? I don't know. It's a weird situation. Here's the thing. If they win a Super Bowl, if they go to the Super Bowl, I'll be rooting for them. I'll be completely honest with you. Morally, what they did was not okay, but at the end of the day, you're rooting for history. Just putting it out there, I don't know. Ben, I mean, for those that listen, we've put it out there several times how we feel about it. Ben, you saw what I put in the group chat earlier today.
Yeah.
Upset about it. And I know it's even more frustrating now because more and more are coming in, but that's fine. We're not even going to cover it. Anyways. And then, yeah, I pretty much covered everything. Just wanted to say, but next up, I think that's going to take care of our next.
Yeah. Here, real quick, though. The AFC East, dude. The AFC East has the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, and the Jets.
Dude, I'm still not buying in on the Patriots.
Well, neither am I, but it's so, but like that, I think that's the only reason they don't end up making the playoffs. At the end of the day, I think the Dolphins are a better team than they are.
That's the thing, though. It all just depends on injuries. Because if you think about it, Tua's already gotten hurt. If he gets hurt, and if he gets hit the wrong way, his career's done. Like, yeah. and the fact that he's coming back this week, and we're gonna cover that literally up next. But, I mean, just the fact that he's coming back this week, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle have already sustained injuries. The running back room has also been kind of iffy historically. And then their defense is just kind of like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They can lose. And the Jets don't have a terrible schedule to the point to where they're out of the running. I'm just saying, as an overreaction, this team could make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, for sure. All right. Sending it up.
Ryan and Ben bring you weekly news.
Anyways, yeah, so I couldn't find really a lot of headlines. I mean, you guys covered a lot of the more recent stuff. If you want to follow any kind of headlines or anything like that, what I will say is our social media links are up on the screen. Mine is not accurate. I just realized that, but jeez. Anyways, yeah. So there's mine, and then Ben's up right underneath his face as well. So you guys can follow us, or I'm gonna try and update our page as well on Twitter. That way we can get some more headlines going. But
Yeah.
anyways, I only pulled 3. The Panthers are listening to trade offers for running back Christian McCaffrey. Wide receiver Robbie Anderson has been traded to the Cardinals for a 2024 sixth and will play against the Saints. And then Travis Kelce has restructured his contract and is teasing a OBJ signing to the Chiefs.
No, that's the
teasing
biggest. Okay,
I'm not
so
saying it's a done deal. He's
for
teasing
those
it.
who are wondering why, like, that frustrates me. For those who don't know, which, like, if you're listening to this podcast and you don't know about the New Heights podcast, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But for those who don't know, Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce like have a podcast together now. It's called New Heights. Awesome podcast. On the show, they were talking about Travis Kelce's restructure. And Travis Kelce said like numerous times he doesn't know why they restructured it. He said, I don't know why they restructured it. And he said it like 3 or 4 times. Yeah. And Jason was joking around saying, well, could it be for OBJ? And he's like, I don't know. He goes like, I can't tell you no. He said,
said he'd like to. He said he'd like to think that it is, but he just can't confirm.
That's
or
what I'm
deny.
saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to tell him either way. So it's not even that it's like I can't tell you. Like, he actually doesn't know. He can't. Like, he actually cannot confirm or deny. It's the same state that every other wide receiver or every other team is in. They can't confirm or deny anything. The other two that like I wanted to talk about was for me, I'm happy Deshaun Jackson is back in the league.
Yeah, he's in the opening clip and everything.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a
is
Raven
he signing
now.
somewhere?
He's a Raven.
Nice.
Yeah, he signed with the Ravens.
I did not catch that.
And then there's been like a lot of rumbling the past few weeks about Dan Snyder being fired. And like, yes, I'm all for that. Like Jim Irsay, for those who don't know who Jim Irsay is, he's a Colts owner.
Great guy, by the way. Jim Irsay is a great guy.
Actually, I should take a step back. So it came out last week. So there's always been rumblings about Dan Snyder being fired because Dan Snyder's a horrible person. Mm-hmm. And it came out like last week that like there's no way that like there's no way the NFL is gonna remove Dan Snyder from ownership. And for those who don't know how that works, the rest of the owners get together and they have like a vote, and the majority has to say, I think it's 24 owners have to vote, yes, he should be fired. And it came out last week that like that can't happen because I guess Dan Snyder hired personal investigators and he has dirt on all these different owners. And if they like choose to fire him, then Dan Snyder is going to put all this dirt out. But then Jim Irsay came out today saying like that was wrong and that he definitely thinks there's merit for him to be fired. So I'm all for that. Dan Snyder is a horrible person. He doesn't belong as an owner in the NFL. So I'm all for that.
Here's what I want to do next. We don't have a set segment for this. This is generally just a question just for time filler. Here's the thing. I'm going to give you a situation, and I'm going to ask you what you want to do as general manager of this situation. Okay?
Oh, this is I saw this on the script. You sent me the script, and you're like, Ryan's question. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's the thing. If you're new here too, by the way, we don't tell each other anything. This is very much spur of the moment, everything. None of this is scripted except for our schedule as to what we want to talk about. So, all right, here's the thing. You are the general manager of a team that is starting on ground zero. You're rebuilding. Everybody knows that it's a rebuild. Mm-hmm. And you generally just need to do what's best. And I know you're going to think of a certain team. Don't think of that certain team. Just
I know.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, I'm not going to think of the Bears.
And I'm even going to say like wide receiver is a need for this team. And it's just because, whatever.
I'm not going to think of the Bears. I got you. Yep.
Would you rather give up a 3rd round pick on a quote unquote Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver that's 25 years old, or use your 1st round pick on a 21-year-old rookie? The Pro Bowler stats consist of, and he's been in the league, I want to say for 5 years.
4
or no, 4 years, 5 years.
4.
what do they? Do
I
they
want to
always
say
come into the league?
3, but I think it's 4.
4,517 yards, 15 touchdowns, and only 1 full season played. For this,
Going into all right, he's going into his 4th year, by the way.
How do you know who this is?
I know who it is. I know who you're talking. Anyways, continue. Who'd you say it was? All right, tell me the stats.
Okay, hold on a minute. Who do you think this is?
Tell me the stats.
Okay. 4,517 yards, 15
It's
touchdowns.
DJ Moore.
Yes, it is. Okay.
DJ Moore can't produce in touchdowns. DJ Moore,
Would you
historically cannot. No, I'm not trading DJ Moore. You got to think about paying him. He just got off his he's gonna enter the free agent market this year. He's coming off his last year of his rookie deal. Or rookie, maybe not. If he's in his 5th year, maybe not. I'm not gonna pay him that. I'm taking the shot on getting this guy, the guy. And I like the draft prospects this year, especially. But realistically, I might be a little biased here. I'm always going to so just if I'm starting ground one from a team, no matter what, and I think that's a really tough thing to say because destination is very important too. No one wants to I'm just using this as an example outside of another sport. Who wants to go and play in Utah? You see the Utah Jazz struggle with getting people. So destination, there's so much stuff that gets played into this. Who wants to play for the Jets, for example? Destination culture, but ground zero, I'm getting my quarterback, I'm finding my quarterback, and then I'm building the offensive line. Yeah. That's key number 1. And I might be biased here, but a good offensive line is the key to any good team. Because with a good offensive line, your quarterback can stay in the pocket for all he wants. With a good offensive line, it doesn't matter how bad your RB is. If I have the best offensive line in the league, I'm going to put up 150 running yards on you whenever the heck I want anyways. So good offensive lines where I'm starting. But yeah, for your question, I'm drafting someone in terms of age, and it's almost like the Pandora's box. You don't know what you have. And if you can scout well, then you got someone, hopefully. But it's a money thing as well. If I'm starting from ground zero, a rookie wide receiver is going to be cheap. And then you can put that money towards other needs, cough, offensive line. So,
okay.
Yes.
All right. That's all fair. Anyways. Okay, cool. So next, sorry, very jumbled. My brain is scattered. Anyways.
Just when you thought it was safe to play the underdog, we put you on upset alert.
All right. So I picked a couple games out of this, a couple being 5.
Holy I got 2.
All right. So you can go ahead and do your 2, and then we'll go ahead with it.
I got Jags over to the Giants. I mean, my Birds just beat the Jags, but I think the Jags are taking that step forward. We've at the beginning of the season, we saw the Trevor Lawrence we hoped. I know he hasn't quite been in these last few games, but he's been good.
Can we just admit that your favorite AFC team is the Jaguars at this point?
No.
I mean, come on. Come on. You're rooting for them. Let's just say it.
Why? Because Doug Peterson?
Well, just generally, man. I don't know. I'm recognizing a pattern here.
Have I picked the Jags as underdogs before? Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, just all off season and everything. I don't know. If you had to pick one AFC team to root for, who would it be?
Probably the Ravens. Definitely the Ravens. Actually, no doubt about it. The Ravens. I love Lamar. Lamar's awesome. But also, I love Kyle Hamilton. I love their head coach there.
Okay.
For those who don't know, John Harbaugh, John Harbaugh's is Michigan's Michigan head coach's brother. Their DC was Michigan's DC last year. They have Kyle Hamilton. They have Lamar. But anyways, back to the Jags.
Can I do?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. If
since we're on the topic,
it would be the Browns.
No. I'm going to switch that live right now today. No longer. I will get rid of. I will retire the Browns.
Are you going to say the Jets? You're going to say the Jets.
No.
Wow.
I will be siding with Caitlin and my uncle, and we'll be going to see my favorite AFC team play.
Oh, I get this. I like their wide receiver.
And it doesn't have anything to do with their offense. Miami Dolphins are going to be my new favorite AFC team. I've always kind of kept up with them just because of my uncle, but I like their colors, and I'll be completely honest with you. I love their jerseys. I love their throwback jerseys. I love their orange jerseys. I love the color orange, that green color, amazing. But overall, Xavier Howard, love Xavier Howard, most underrated corner in the league. Just saying. Anyways, back to your upset alert.
But yeah, no, the Jags versus Cowboys. I think Dak is. I'm pretty sure Dak is like confirmed to come back this year. I think he's gonna or this game
this week.
I think he's gonna struggle a little bit. I think we can hopefully see the Jags take advantage of that. And then, I said Jags versus Giants. All right. I was looking at my other game. I think the Lions are going to be the Cowboys. Yeah, I think Lions are going to be the Cowboys. That was the other game. I'm sorry. The Lions, again, hopefully we can see their defense step up a little bit. And Jared Goff has played at an elite level. Jared Goff, again, he's not an elite quarterback. No one's going to say that. But through the first 6 weeks, outside of that stinker last week, he's played very, very well. They just got off their bye week. They had time to prepare for this game. Everyone should be healthy. I don't know if Swift is playing this game. It doesn't really matter.
He's questionable.
He's questionable. He's questionable, and I'm still confident.
He's on the trade block. Anyways. He might not be. Just saying.
Don't tell me he's on the trade block, buddy, because I said starting wide running back, and you told me no. So go away.
For CeeDee Lamb, I don't.
Any of those guys, any three of those guys, we could have.
Who's the third?
Package together.
Who's the
Keenan,
third?
CeeDee, and Diop.
Oh. Well,
you know what? Those guys,
let's designate fantasy land for this. Let's designate fantasy land for this. I'm sorry. This is the only con to doing this whole ad lib style is just not being very organized. It's fine.
Yeah. Lions over Cowboys, Jags over Giants. Yours.
Browns at Ravens. And here's why.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson is selling the contract that he should have gotten. This man is not increasing his value whatsoever lately. The last couple weeks have been horrible for him. He started off really good, but the last couple weeks he's played horrible. Like, not good. Lions at Cowboys, we already talked about. Packers at Commanders. And Taylor Heineke is not a bad backup. I love Heineke. Like, I love to root for him. Brian Robinson is bound to take off. I'll say it. I'm expecting a Brian Robinson explosion within the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's somewhere between Sunday and the next 2 weeks after that. Expect, like, literally almost start him as your flex just in case. Like, you know. Jets at Broncos. I mean, and I'm only calling this an upset just because I'd be very upset because the Broncos should be better. They should beat the Jets, but they won't because the Jets defense looks very good. And shout out to Sauce Gardner. First off, he's great guy.
I love him.
Great guy. We met him and everything. I wasn't too high on him for the scouting combine. However, he's played to very much exceed my expectations.
You might be the only one who wasn't high on him.
Dude, I just didn't like he had super long legs and they were super weird how he ran and everything. I'm sorry. Anyways.
I want a lengthy cornerback. Anyways, sorry.
So, and then, you know, they got the MILF hunter, Zach Wilson, you know, it's just the meme, you know, whatever. Anyways, and then after that, I mean, just overall, the Jets, I mean, they've played really well. If they could incorporate a little bit more of their wide receivers into it, I really just Garrett Wilson. Like, get Garrett Wilson more involved. But Breece Hall has been playing crazy good. The Broncos defense is really the only problem with this, but I overall see the Jets potentially coming out. And then the Steelers.
I don't even know if I would
Dolphins.
consider the Jets an underdog at this point. Personally, that's the reason I would take the Jets to win this game. But like at this point, I don't even know if the Jets are considered underdogs with how well they're playing and how bad the Broncos are playing.
And it's really just because I'm upset about how bad the Broncos are. Like it's just such a letdown. But Steelers and Dolphins. The Steelers, Mitch revenge season, baby.
Stop
That's
it.
all I
You
gotta
said
say.
at the beginning of the season, the only reason he's in is because Kenny Pickett was hurt. Kenny
Mitch
Pickett
was
will
so
be right
mad.
back.
He was yeah, it's still Kenny Pickett's team. But oh man, it's just Mitch Trubisky, man. He did not play terrible when he came in. But then again, like Andy Dalton didn't play terrible when he stepped in for New Orleans either, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Crazier things have happened. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk to that as well.
You think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. We're just switching it up a little bit. This week I'm gonna do my whole pigskin pick'em. We're just gonna test it out this week, see if this is going to
See if we
kind
like
of
it.
go forward from here on out. But I'm gonna go ahead and Ben, you can step in at any point in time.
I'll let you take the stage here, and I'll step in if I hear some acidine comment.
So overall, what I'm gonna go ahead and start off by saying is that okay, so Saints at Cardinals Thursday Night Football. Everybody and their mother knows I'm taking the Cardinals. And Ben's gonna hate this pick just because but at the end of the day, the Saints just aren't that good right now. Next up is the Browns playing the Ravens in Baltimore. The Browns should lose this game, but the Ravens have been playing down to their opponents. This is a must-win game for the Browns as they kind of approach Deshaun Watson going back into the flow of playing football again. At the end of the day, though, I'm taking the Ravens just because, Lamar Jackson's going to run all over this team, and this is going to be kind of like a revival game for the Ravens. Any must-win game that the Browns have, they will probably lose. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to them, but it's going to be kind of a close one. Ravens 24-20. I don't know if I gave my score prediction on the previous one. I probably did, but I'm doing Cardinals 24-13. Next up, Buccaneers at Panthers. I enough said. The Panthers are blowing up. It's just not a pretty situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Buccaneers. And I'm gonna say they're gonna put up 27 points to the Panthers. I don't know, 13. Next up is the Falcons at Bengals. I really like the Falcons, and there's no reason for the Bengals to win this game. To lose this game. But the Falcons have been playing pretty well, and they beat the 49ers last week. So it's like, how do I trust this team with something? So I guess I'm gonna go with the Bengals. But I'm really tempted to pick the Falcons. I'm gonna go 23-20 Bengals here.
This Marcus Mariota hype is getting out of control.
Hey, I like Marcus Mariota. Okay, don't hate on him. Drake London breakout game, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so Lions at Cowboys. This is my upset of the week, and I'm going with the Lions. Actually, no, it's not my upset of the week. The upset of the week's coming here shortly, but Lions are going to put up, I'm going to say 33 points to the Cowboys, 27. And Dak's going to come back, but he's not going to win. And then it's going to stir up a ton of controversy on the Dallas side. You're going to question whether or not Cooper Rush is actually the guy in Dallas or not. And
as someone who watched that game, Cooper Rush is not the guy. Okay, I was going to put this in the overreaction. I was going to put this in the overreaction, though. Like, Dallas team is like – I came away from this weekend, like, thinking Dallas was a better team than what I thought going into the game. Like, literally the only reason the Eagles won that game is because Cooper Rush threw 3 interceptions.
Well, next up, Giants at Jaguars. Oh, okay. When you come back in for your picks, I have to show something too. But anyways, Giants at Jaguars.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Giants here. Oh man, how did I really don't know because it all just depends on how the Jaguars run defense is. No, I'm taking it back. Give me the Jaguars, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be 26-17, And then here's my upset of the week. This Packers team looks terrible, and they're going to continue to look terrible. And I'm going to prey on their downfall for the You saw how Ben handles the Cardinals. I'm going to handle the Packers for just that same exact way, that same way throughout the rest of the season. And that's why I'm picking the Packers here, because they're not losing against the Commanders. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to say the Packers are going to win this 20. No, it's going to be ugly. And I'm going to say 17 to the Commanders 13. It's just too safe of a pick just to pick the Packers, whatever. However, they're not going to make the playoffs. I'm going to say it here. They're not going to make the playoffs. It's going to be a bold pick, but whatever. Colts at Titans. Yeah, I said it. Anyways, okay, so Colts at Titans. I'm going with the Titans, and I think I picked them last time the Titans played the Colts, and I don't know how that went. I think they won. The Titans won. Anyways, so I'm going 24 to the Colts 17. And Derrick Henry's going to run all over him. Expect a better game out of Jonathan Taylor, though. This is going to be kind of his return, though. Ben should be a little happy about that. But Texans at
Amen
Raiders.
to that, brother.
Yeah. Texans at Raiders. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Raiders here. I'm so sorry, Lovey. I love you to death, but it's just not happening. Raiders should have won against Kansas City. I'll say it now. I'll say it forever. That should have happened. Raiders 27 to the Texans. I don't even want to give them a touchdown, but I guess I will. 13. Jets at Broncos. I don't even want to speak about the Broncos other than screw you, Nathaniel Hackett. I meant to say it last week, but I don't know if he read that part of the I think he did actually. So yeah, I'll say it again. Screw you, Nathaniel Hackett. Jets are going to win this again. Huge Robert Saleh fan. I think everybody is at this point. But at the end of the day, Jets are going to take this one 28 to, I'm going to say 17. 28-17. And then Chiefs at 49ers. This is my game of the week. And I'm going to take the Chiefs here. Shout out to my guy, Drew, who plays softball with me. Good guy and hits lots of home runs. So we need you for the playoffs. Anyways, Chiefs are going to win and come back after losing to the Bills like they shouldn't have. The Chiefs are a lot better than I thought. Put it at that. But I am going to say it's going to be close, and it's going to end with I'm going to say 24-16 score. Seahawks at Chargers. Oh my God. Why do I want to ride the Geno Smith hype train on this game? Like literally every bit of me wants to just be like, Geno Smith is really good this year. And
he is good this year. It's because he is good this year. I love Geno Smith, and we're all for this Geno Smith hype train. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we got to embrace it when it does.
And at the end of the day, though, is the Seahawks offensive line going to protect Geno Smith? And my answer for that is no, although I want to take this. I'm going Chargers 27 to, to the Seahawks 18. And then let's go with the Steelers and Dolphins on Sunday Night Football. I'm going to go Dolphins, and let's say 27 to, I'll say 23. Mitch Trubisky. Well, no, I think I don't know. It all just depends on who's starting, on whether or not it's going to be a close game. But Mitch Trubisky is going to make this a close game if he plays. But the Dolphins are ultimately going to win. Bears at Patriots. The Bears are going to win this game whether people like it or not. And they're going to put up 23 points doing it to the Patriots 17. And they're going to stop them. Actually, no, I'm going to make it 16 just to make it seem like, it's going to be some kind of controversy. But Bears are going to win this. They're going to study and they're going to change things up. And if not, I'm going to be a sad, sad man on Thursday. At the end of it, though, I'm going to bring in my podcast partner, Ben, here for his Pigskin Pick'em for
Howdy.
this week. But before he gets started there, I have to note, so our records are wrong. Our records are so wrong.
Are they?
Very wrong. So here's the thing. Going into this week, at first, I had thought Ben was 46-42-1, and I was 54-37-1.
46. No, buddy, I'm 38-37.
But listen to this. So if you add that up, it adds to 89 games for your record. If I add mine up, that adds to 92. Doesn't make any sense. There's been 94 games played. Something went wrong. So I went week by week and counted up our wins. So in week 1, I went 12-3-1. You went 9-6-1. Week 2, this is the one that's killed you all season. I went 11-5. You had 5-11.
Yeah.
Week 3, 6-10 for me, 10-6 for you. 11-5 for me in week 4, 8-8 for you in week 4. For
You
week
like that?
5, 9-7 for me, 10-6 for you. For week 6, 7-7 for me, 8-6 for you. To make an overall record for me, 56-37-1, and you went 50-43-1. So you are very much over 500.
43. Wow. Okay, we'll take that.
So a little bit of
wow.
a little bit more of a confidence boost for you. I apologize. Math isn't my strong suit, so when I count up wins and losses, I should really not be responsible for this, in my opinion. This is a bad move on our take. But anyways, no, we're fine. Got it all figured out. Ben, starting off, Saints at Cardinals Thursday Night Football. Are you taking the Saints? Are you taking the Cardinals for the first time this year? What are you doing?
This is something that I've been struggling with. Okay, do we take the smart move? Because let's be honest, the Saints are winning this game. Or do we just continue? Doing the Cardinals hatred? Because screw the Cardinals. I've been dead right about them. Not to toot my own horn. D-Hop is back this week. They traded for Anderson. They traded for Robbie Anderson. He has weapons now. We don't know how long Hollywood Brown will be out, but he's definitely hurt. He's going to miss this game for sure.
Yeah.
But on the other hand of that, the Saints are just wildly injured.
Yeah.
We're going to do the smart football thing. Okay, we're above 500. Let's try to keep it that way. The Cardinals are going to win this game. Wow, this might be the only time you see me pick them this year. The Cardinals are winning this game. I'm going to say like 24-13. I don't think it's the same exact thing that I had. It's the same exact thing. That's awesome. That's just how I see it happening. It just, I don't know, man. The Saints and honestly, I'm rooting against the Saints too because we own their first overall pick. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Screw the Saints.
Buccaneers at Panthers. Do we really have to say much about it? Because I think I already know who your pick is.
No, it's Buccaneers by 1,000. The Panthers, like you said, Panthers are falling apart here. We hopefully can see Tom Brady eventually picking up. But realistically, a score prediction I have for this game is like 27-13. 27.
That's the same exact thing I had. Dude, what is going on? Browns at Ravens.
Ravens are gonna win this one. We get it. Hopefully, we get to see a Lamar Jackson bounce back game. Hopefully, we get to see D-Jax play. I really think Lamar is just gonna run all over this defense. The smart thing to do is to put a spy on there and have your ends not crash down the field. But I mean, you can't use Myles Garrett like that. I mean, you have to have Myles Garrett like pass rush. So maybe you see like a JOK spy out there for Lamar. Because the Jets really showed how to stop Lamar. I mean, besides like 2 big runs Lamar had, the Jets kind of put out the precedent there how to slow down Lamar in the run game there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, again, I do have the Ravens winning this one. I think this game's gonna suck though. I think it's gonna be like a 21-10. I don't think it's gonna be a good game.
I have it 24-20, so I'm not too far ahead of you.
Yep.
Falcons at Bengals.
No, I think you're crazy. I chipped in there. I like to see Marcus Mariota doing good. Was a huge Drake London guy, big Drake London guy. We finally saw Kyle Pitts flash. I think they're a fun team to watch. But I do think they're just the team that we thought they were going into the season. I think the Bengals are going to take this one like pretty handily, like 27-10 Bengals.
I do want to make sure that you understood too, because I did hype them up, but I still have the Bengals winning 23-20.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I still think you're crazy for it though.
Lions at Cowboys.
I had this on the upset alert, and we're gonna lean all the way into it. This is kind of what I've done into the season. If I have a team on upset alert, we're gonna stick with it, and they're gonna be, we're gonna pick with it. We're gonna have the Lions win this one. I think this game's actually gonna be way higher scoring than what people think, which is weird to say because the Cowboys have an amazing defense. I think the Lions are gonna take this one 27-24.
Okay. Giants at Jaguars.
I think the Jags are going to take this one. I think this is going to be, I honestly think this is probably going to be the game of the week. And I think this is a game people aren't going to talk, people aren't talking much about, but at the end of the week, we're going to look back on it. And people are going to be like, why weren't we talking enough about this? I think the Jags are going to end up beating the Giants. I think the Jags are going to beat the Giants 24-21.
Okay. Packers at Commanders.
Like you said, the smart move is to pick Aaron Rodgers here. Hopefully we can see an Aaron Rodgers revenge game eventually. It's just a matter of his wide receivers, and Randall Cobb got hurt, which is a shame. Another one of his weapons are out. I still, at the end of the day, I do have the Packers winning this game. I have the Packers winning this one 21-17.
All right. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm switching up the pick. Give me the Commanders.
Oh, you're a loser. You're a fraud.
I want the Commanders.
Fraudulent.
Commanders,
this is malpractice.
23 to, oh man. I meant to put 16, but I put 6, and I was like, oh dear God, I love that. But it's not going to happen like that. Commanders are going to win 23-16. Colts at Titans.
Is that the Titans? I originally had the Colts picking this one. Matt Ryan went off. Alec Pierce is shining. The defense is not looking very good. I think Derrick Henry is going to run all over this defense, but I think at the end of the day, the Colts are finally looking like the team that we thought they were going into the season. I'm going to have the Colts win this one. Let's say 24-7. We'll say 27-17.
All right. So. Texans at Raiders.
I think the Raiders are going to take this one pretty handily. I think the Raiders are sorry about that, guys.
No,
I think the Raiders are going to win this one pretty handily. Hopefully we can see Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers connect the way that they did in week 1. And I think we see that this week.
Derek Carr, yes.
What did I say?
Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah,
I just want to point out that he's not on the Packers anymore. I just want
No, that's just I knew that too. I'm just tired, guys. It's midnight here my time.
At least you have a personal trumpet player in the background. It's fine.
No, I do have the Raiders taking this one pretty easily. I think the Raiders are going to take this game like 27-10.
For the Colts and Titans, who did you pick 27-17?
Colts.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't put that. Okay, and then the Raiders 27 to what did you say?
27-10.
Dude, it's crazy because our predictions aren't that far off. I had them 27-13. So yeah. Great. Jets at Broncos.
Okay. The Jets have been killing it.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos have not.
Mm-hmm. The Jets have been a team I'm buying stock on all season long.
Absolutely. I'm buying stock on Jets.
In fact, I think we even said that in the preseason.
Buy stock on the Jets. We did. The Broncos are a team that we're selling stock on here. I mean, I think the answer in this game is a pretty clear one. So for that reason, we're going to have the Broncos win this one 17-13.
Very misleading. Anyways, Chiefs at 49ers.
I think we look to see the Chiefs have a bounce back game. They played very, very well against the Bills. At the end of the day, the Bills are just a better team, and they showed it. I think the Chiefs are going to take this one pretty handily as well. And people are talking about the Niners being one of the best defenses in the league, and I think Patrick Mahomes is going to make them look silly like he always does. Chiefs are going to win this one. I think this is probably going to be the highest scoring game of the week. I'm going to say 31-24.
Seahawks at Chargers.
This goes back. This is almost goes back to that Broncos Jets thing. The Seahawks are better than what we thought. The Broncos or the Chargers are worse than we thought. I do think the Chargers are going to end up taking this one pretty easily. Here, hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah. That and I mean, you have to point out the offensive line as well too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the Chargers. Hopefully, we can see. Oh, I think there needs to be a conversation about this has been a huge conversation on social media, and I think it's kind of like a conspiracy theory. And I would have loved to pick your brain when we had that empty segment about sports betting kind of rigging, how much sports betting has to do with sports.
The Justin Herbert thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, the line for Justin Herbert throwing over a passing touchdown, it was 1+ passing touchdown, going into the game was I think it was -800. And for those who don't know what that means you'd have to bet $800 to win 100 out of that bet.
Horrible.
But then out of nowhere, right before the game, the line shifted to +100. So if you bet 100, you get 100
You get 100 back.
And out of nowhere, the line shifted, and sure as heck,
out of the one of the only games where he doesn't throw a touchdown in his career, he doesn't throw a touchdown there.
Yeah.
So lesson learned.
Weird.
Bet on the opposite side if it gets boosted.
Yeah. But no, I do have the Chargers winning this one. We hope to see this one being pretty high scoring as well. Hopefully we see the Chargers take this one. I'm going to say 34-27. I like that.
Steelers at Dolphins on Sunday Night Football.
Lions. We're gonna have the Lions win this one. The
Steelers at Dolphins, buddy.
Oh, Steelers at Dolphins. Where did I get Lions versus Steelers at?
Hey, we were very confused.
I have it written down here. I have the Steelers written down on my script, and I have the game Lions versus Steelers. Steelers versus Dolphins. Tua's back. Tua's going to take this game pretty easy. The Steelers have shown to be an awful team outside of this game. I think the Steelers are going to take this one pretty. The Steelers have shown to be an awful team. I think the Dolphins are going to take this one pretty handily. Dolphins 24, Steelers 10.
All right, and then last but not least, my Bears taking on the Patriots Monday Night Football.
I want to go the Bears. Every single time I've bet against the Bears, I've been correct outside of that Niners game. We're looking to keep that streak up. Patriots are looking good. Did you say it was at Soldier Field or Gillette?
Gillette.
Oh, it's at Gillette. The Patriots are going to take that. That's literally the only reason I'm taking the Patriots here. Jack Jones has looked locked down. Hopefully your guys' defense can stop him. But I think, like I said, the Niners is the best it's going to get for you guys, man. Niners are the best it's going to get. Yeah, the Patriots, I see it, and I even have the Bears written as winning on my script, but we pivoted. It's what we call thinking on our feet. I think this is going to be, we're going to say 27 to 17. We're going to keep that. I think that's been a popular score for me today.
I'm so exhausted with this team, man. I'm telling you, it's so sad. Just take a full month, a bye month. Just get rid of it, man. Whatever. I'm so frustrated with that, but without further ado, Ben, we had a huge, huge week surrounding one of your favorite topics.
Pro football isn't the only game in town. Let's take a stroll to Ben's College Corner.
Before we get started here, let me just say, how about them Vols, huh?
No, I mean that's what I have written down as my number one topic this week.
We have to.
We have to. Tennessee beats Bama. I mean, it was a great game. I feel like that game took forever. I feel like that was a 5-hour game. But Knoxville got like set on fire. I love seeing the goalpost put or
Yeah.
the goalpost put in the river. That's amazing. It's gonna be a good team, man. It's a good team. Hendon Hooker looks awesome. There was a wide receiver
Alabama
completely
out of the
breaking.
top
No,
4 too,
Alabama.
right?
No. Well, yeah, they're out of the top.
They're
4
out of it
or
right
5.
now. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's
but
pretty cool.
they'll be back coming this season. Or
It all
season
depends. It all depends on that OSU and Michigan matchup too. It sucks
It
that
really
we
does,
have to
man.
be like. You don't think so?
I said it really does. It does.
Oh yeah, well, I was gonna say it really sucks knowing that like the two of us are in one of the heated rivalries of college football and that it matters that much. Like I hope. I was gonna say I hope Michigan, but at the same exact time, I hope one of our teams loses one of the big games. That way, during that big game, it all just depends on I don't know. I'm just trying to make the situation easier. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to where both teams make the playoff, but I don't think it's possible.
It's not going to happen. I think it's pretty impossible. But yeah, Tennessee beating Bama was like one of the biggest shockers of the week. But like the other biggest shocker was Utah beating USC. USC looked like they pretty much owned the Pac-12. But now we have to have a conversation about UCLA. UCLA is a top 10 team. They've won. DTR is looking phenomenal. If they win out, you have to have a conversation about UCLA going to the college football playoffs. They have a good test this week. They have a really, really good test this week. But I think if they win out, I mean, we need to start talking a little bit more about UCLA. It's going to be a really, 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 really fun game. But then the last one is Michigan just swamps Penn State. Like this was supposed to be like a really, really good game going into it. I think the final score is 41-14. Michigan's rushing attack looks like the best rushing attack in all of college. They had 2 running backs finish over 150 yards. It's so fun to watch. But just looking at a few games going to next week, I have 3 for you guys like I always do each and every week. Like I just touched on a little bit before there, UCLA is going up against Oregon. I think this is going to be a really big test for them. I think if they can beat Oregon now, like I said, we're going to have to start having a conversation about them being one of the best teams in college football. The next one is 20th ranked Texas versus 11th ranked Oklahoma State. Quentin Ewers really looks like he could be the first overall pick next year. Quentin Ewers is amazing. And he put up a fight up against Alabama. They end up losing that game, but he looked even good in that game. I think he's going to be really, really good. And then the last game I have for you guys is 5th ranked Bama versus 24th ranked Mississippi. Hopefully we can see Bama take a step forward and jump right back into that dominant team they have been. And then just one game that I like left on the outside just to keep something on the back burner. If you guys got a second TV going, K-State versus TCU. And when I say K-State, I mean Kansas State versus TCU.
Yeah.
And then the last part of this segment here is probably my favorite segment in the mini segment. I give you guys each and every week a prospect that I like and a prospect you guys watch out for looking into the draft. Matt came on. He gave us we went into depth about 4 different ones, but I think he gave us 6 names to look for. But I'm going to go into depth about just one of them. That's LSU's pass rusher, BJ Ojulari. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he is the younger brother of Giants pass rusher who got picked in the first round 2 years ago, Azeez Ojulari, which is crazy because these guys are not at all the same guys. I mean, I guess in the aspect that they're pass rush specialists, they're similar, but Azeez was always the kind of guy who's playing linebacker, undersized, going to come off the edge. BJ's bigger. BJ's going to be playing the 4-3 defensive end. You're not going to see him be playing that linebacker. He's 6'3", weighs 240 pounds. And when I say pass rush specialist, I absolutely mean it. This dude's first step is crazy. His explosiveness on that step is crazy. And he just understands leverage. Like he will push back your offensive line. And that being said, he has great pass rushing moves. The dude's dip and rip is amazing. He has a really good swim move, and his spin move is off the charts. And he also has a high motor, which looking at it, high motor isn't something that, that's not going to push you into the first round, but just one of those traits that you love to see. He can pass rush for 5 or 6 seconds and still be fine. And you can't see that a lot. The only con I have for him is he has a small sample size. And due to that small sample size, what we've seen in that is he struggles against the run. He can't really push back the offensive linemen. And he struggles like shedding blocks to tackle the guys, but he does set the edge really well. Again, I think it's just a matter of small sample size. And right now, people are projecting him late first round, early second. I would not at all be surprised if he ends up finding his way in the middle of the first round. I really like this kid.
So at the end of the segment, I wanted to ask you a question because with how the Bears looked, I completed my first mock draft. And so here's the question that I had, because as of right now, I think they're within the top 10.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely are.
So there's multiple options you could go. You could go offensive line, or you could pick wide receiver. And the way that I would like to go is wide receivers. So the question that I have for you, at least this week, if you're the Bears, do you draft Quentin Johnston or Jordan Addison?
Jordan Addison. That might be that might be my worst take going into the year.
Why is
Quentin Johnson?
I
love Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston. You know what? Next week we're gonna do my deep dive on Quentin Johnston.
Okay.
I spent so much time talking about him. I love Quentin Johnston.
He's
a traits guy. Oh yeah, he's awesome. Outside of the last week, he hasn't had like that big game, which is a shame. You'd like to see it, but he's more that traits guy, which big traits guy here. But Jordan Addison's just dominant. Jordan Addison can do everything. He's your prototypical wide receiver one. Again, not a big fan of one-to-one comps. If I had to do a one-for-one comp for him, it would be a smaller Jamar Chase. He just does everything right. And when I say smaller, I mean like Jamar Chase is yoked. Jordan Addison's not as yoked as him, but they play the same game. I think it's Jordan Addison for sure. I don't really think it's particularly close.
All right, so that'll round out Ben's college corner and send us
another trip to Fantasyland.
All right, so we didn't really have all that much planned, but what I will do is this. Ben,
yes,
need to talk.
All right, I really doubt anything's getting done. Your chance to make a trade would have been yesterday.
Why is that?
Yesterday, because I don't need a running back anymore.
What's going on here?
I got Damian Pierce, JT, and Kenny Walker, dude.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. That sucks. Here's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been last, but when I reached out to you yesterday, you said you didn't want to trade any of those top three, man. I was more than willing to put together a package, but you shut me down from the get-go.
Well, I know that you're high on Brian Robinson, and I want to give you
Not
Brian
that high.
Robinson. I want to give you Brian Robinson.
All right, let's hear it.
And I want to give you him in a package. But I really want to get rid of Cook. That's who I really want to get rid of.
I'm well aware of that one.
And
you could have gotten rid of him. Like I would have accepted a Dalvin Cook for a CeeDee Lamb trade, and that would have been a fleece. That's how desperate I was for a running back at that time.
No,
but
that's
you
the
told
thing,
me
though.
No, man. You told me no.
That's the thing, though. Well, I would have been without a running back in that situation. I don't want to do that. I would rather have Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Swift and Ramondre Stevenson and potentially James Robinson and rotate those guys in and out during bye weeks. Especially because Ramondre Stevenson looks really good right now. I mean, he's consistent, at least, a minimum of 15 or more points within the past 4 weeks.
Well, yeah, and
he's playing Chicago this week.
With what's his name?
Mac Jones out?
Not Mac Jones. Their other running back. Damian Harris. With Damian Harris out, he's gonna continue to produce that way.
So that's the thing. I mean, like, I would like to do that, and I'm not going to give up that for another wide receiver. So at the end of the day, you have to start factoring in this guy then. Doing a wide receiver for wide receiver swap with a running back involved. That way you can have a little sweetener. And so
the thing is,
I know you like Pittman.
I'm not stacking that offense.
What do you mean?
I have Matt Ryan and JT.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to stack that offense. I'm not confident in that offense.
As far
whatsoever
I
to
see what
stack
you
'em.
mean. I see what you mean. So that's cool. You could just give me Jonathan Taylor then. I mean,
Dude, I'm telling you, you should have done it yesterday. You had prime ample
you
opportunity
wouldn't
to
have
do it
given me him
yesterday.
anyway.
And for those, I absolutely would have. Or not JT. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm talking about a trade for a running back. Or
Okay.
yeah, your chance was to do it yesterday. And for those who don't know, I've just been like struck with running back injury. Like I had Rashad Penny, he got hurt. I had Javonte Williams, he got hurt. I had Elijah Mitchell, he got hurt. I had JT. JT's missed 2 weeks. He got hurt. And so I've been like strapped for running backs, but dude, with D Hop coming back, that opened everything up. Okay, because now I have D Hop, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Keenan Allen. My running back group consists of Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, who popped off last week and looks like he can finish in the top 12 running backs if he continues on pace to what he did, which he absolutely can with Rashad Penny being out, and Damian Pierce, who has been on an absolute tear the last 3 weeks when he got lead running back touches. Mind you, Lovie Smith came out today saying we need to get Damian Pierce 20 touches a game. So
yeah, I'm
D-Hop
looking at
coming
it
back
and
opened
everything.
everything up.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, for those who don't know, well, no, none of you guys would know this, unless you are in our league. I traded. I know it was a rough trade, but it's what I needed, and I had, like, I just had a crazy amount of wide receivers. I had CeeDee Lamb, I had Keenan Allen, I had D-Hop, I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. I can't play all of them. Even if I put one of them in my flex, I would still have one of them on my bench anyways. I desperately needed like a high-end running back 2. Damian Pierce has been that. So I said, hey guys, D-Hop, Keenan Allen, and CeeDee Lamb are all on the market. I traded that's the best offer I got. I traded Damian Pierce for CeeDee Lamb. So
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
All right, here we go.
hey,
It's game time. It's game time. It's time to get
baby.
real.
Hopefully it works this week. I don't think you were here for
I watched
last.
and it was down, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Here we
yeah.
go.
Weddle was down last week, which is a gosh dang shame.
I'm gonna let you take the first pick because I'm a nice guy.
Oh yeah, how AJ Brown.
Which, by the way, Jalen Hurts was easy modes last week, yesterday. Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you play yesterday?
I did. I play every day. I almost accidentally did that thing. I because I stay up pretty late anyways.
Yeah.
So I almost played at like 1 o'clock in the morning today. Glad I didn't. I guess it wouldn't have mattered because now it's like 12 my time, so I absolutely could have.
Darnell Mooney. Ooh, NFC North.
Boy.
Yeah, whatever. I was going for height just to try and reveal something, but that didn't make any sense whatsoever. It was a stupid guess. Anyways,
Dalvin Cook.
All right, Dalvin Cook. Cool.
I looked at that. It wasn't wide receiver, and I looked at age and height, and Dalvin Cook was the first one that came to mind.
All right, so I get to go first.
So, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, quarterback. Cool.
Old and short. Russell Wilson.
On the AFC.
Oh, AFC. Yeah.
Okay, let's go down the line here.
Ferguson, get out of there.
So
33 though. 33 was a huge.
it was a huge
33
year.
was a huge help there. So.
Okay, so he's 6 foot tall, or maybe even 6'1". And he wears. Hold on a minute. I gotta think here. No, it can't be. No, because he wears no.
You're really struggling here, huh?
I'm gonna take my time with this because I want to win. Okay, so anybody listening, you might want to fast forward a couple minutes. It's gonna be okay. I have to think of divisions.
I have one player in my mind, and the tough thing. Could you scroll down real quick? I want to see what the arrow says for number 3. He's a number 2.
Yeah, he's
Who's
number
the quarterback who wears number 2? There's one quarterback who pops into my mind, maybe it could be, but the age in number 2 doesn't. I'm just gonna try to narrow it down to division at this point, and then we'll figure it out from there. Oh no, 33 doesn't work though. The age doesn't work there.
Dude, I want to guess somebody, but I don't think that it's.
I just guess it at this point. I'm just as lost as you are. I'm trying to figure out divisions here at this point.
Yeah, he wears number 9. Dang it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, are you just using this pick to narrow it down to? Because it's not north or west.
I have a player in mind, but I know for a fact it's not who I think it is. I know it can't be someone in the NFC East, but we're gonna do it anyways. Put in Taylor Heineke.
Wow, East.
What?
East quarterback, 6'1". Okay.
33 years old. Oh my goodness. Oh
my God. It's not, is it?
I know who it is.
He's not on that. He's not on there.
I know exactly who it is. I know exactly who it is. You better get your guess right here, bud. I didn't realize this dude was as short as he was. I thought this dude was a little bit taller.
Dude, wait, hold on a
minute. You get one guess, buddy. You get one guess, and I know exactly who it is.
I know, so I'm gonna take my time here. No way.
You got this, buddy. It's a process of elimination. That's the only reason why I know who it is.
I mean, okay, hold on a minute. So it's not Carson. That doesn't make any sense. It's more than likely a backup because it's not Jalen Hurts because he's too young. It's not Dak because he's still too young, except he's not quite 33. And it's not Danny Dimes. And the backup isn't Mike Glennon anymore, is it?
No.
Because
it's the Giants' backup quarterback.
Oh, you stupid. Okay. So
I shouldn't have said any. I mean, I guess you could have. Yeah.
I was gonna say I remember, and you probably literally
I shouldn't have said anything, man.
No, literally that didn't even give it away either. Just because I remembered that the Bears knocked out Tyrod Taylor in just a couple plays again. They play against the Giants. If the Bears didn't play against the Giants, I probably wouldn't have gotten that one. I'll be completely honest with you. But hey, 2-0 in the last 2 weeks. I'll take it.
Dude, I knew exactly who it was, man. I shouldn't have said anything about the Giants. I shouldn't have.
Let's see. So that moves you to 11-7.
Sure.
All right. So
that moves you to what, 7?
If I got the record right, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Anyways, all right, ladies and gentlemen, time to move us to our gridiron goofs. But first, I want to take a quick little break. Give us just a minute.
What's the name of the segment? Oh, you're not talking about Ryan and Ben? Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I've got it. It's time for Gridiron Goofs.
Must I add, that's my favorite, like, of all the drops, like, that's my favorite drop.
I must say
him
this.
for doing it. We love him for
Yeah. Vince is a good guy, and I gotta say, it's coming to a sad conclusion here, okay? Because Friday, sorry,
Friday. Oh,
Friday's
yeah.
sectionals week. If
Mm,
Kankakee Valley does not beat New Prairie, which the odds are not in their favor this year, that's my last football broadcast with Vince, and I don't know if
maybe.
we'll be working together for basketball. So
State.
I probably would not work with him on a broadcast, at least side by side, play by play in color, but I could potentially be like a sideline guy, might make an appearance on the radio. So keep an eye out. But anyways,
Yeah.
guys, we're doing Gridiron Goofs, and this time it was an inspired topic by the podcast FRDI, the FRDI show, the Worst Things Draft. I tried not to take anything from them
I'm
as
taking
far as my
something
big
from
board,
them.
but you know what I mean. As
I
far
think
as
it was like
picks
the first
go,
overall pick or whatever. I'm taking the first overall pick. So
let's see for our last show. I think, yeah, I had the first pick because I picked Kratos in the video game character thing. So you're up first, buddy.
wet socks.
Yeah, those suck. Those were my number one thing on my board.
Yeah, it's wet socks for sure, dude.
I'm going for check engine lights.
You know what,
Those are
Ryan?
terrible.
You don't even know what happened to me this weekend.
I didn't, but what happened? Don't tell me that the check engine light came on. I didn't even know about it.
So for those who don't, for those again, no, not that you guys would know this. So I don't even want to say for those who don't know this. I went into Northwestern Illinois to visit some friends, David and Steven.
Oh, nice.
Former co-hosts of a different podcast. Besides the point, I'm like halfway up there. Yeah, in our fantasy league, you guys saw both of them. My transmission dropped out.
Oh no!
Stopped working. Like out of nowhere, like it just awful. Had to get it towed. The closest thing, it was hit really close to home. Good thing is I figured out yesterday that like it was a transmission issue, but it wasn't. So my transmission is completely fine, but I guess the wire that runs from my transmission to my engine just got chewed out by like a rodent or something. So you just have to replace the wire, which is so much better than like having to replace a transmission, because I don't know if I could afford that, because it's like a super old European car. So it's just a wire.
Oh, no.
So we're happy about that. But you hit close to home with that one, dude.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even mean to, but that's hilarious that's like it aligned. Anyways. Yeah, so go for it. What's next?
And we're past like this part of fall / like summer or whatnot. When you wake up in the morning and you see that it's like 30 degrees outside, so you're like, I'm gonna wear some pants. And you put some pants on, and you put a long sleeve on, and then you get to like 1:00 and you're sitting in class and you're like, it's hot. What is this? And you look at your phone and it's like 75 degrees outside now, even though it was like 35 in the morning. So now you're just going out the rest of your day. It's 75-degree weather and a long sleeve and pants.
I promise you none of this is aligned, but the thing is, it happened all the time in Oklahoma. So the thing is, when we went on vacation, no joke, so Caitlin and I, we bundled up because it's about maybe 50 to 60 degrees. And the thing is like, it's still a little breezy. Like, it's still kind of cool. And it even got down to like the 40s and 50s, which is like unfamiliar territory for me going down there. Cause it's like, I don't know, you expect it to be kind of warm down there. So we get there and everything. It's all cold. We like, it was just like a heavier sweatshirt and then some sweatpants, like normal sweatpants.
It's normal stuff.
And then it jumps all the way up to about 83, 85. And I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Like, the house is like maybe a 10-minute drive in, the four-wheeler or whatever that we took out. and it's just like, all right, like I guess we'll just head back up to the house then. Like, so it was, I swear none of this is aligned. Next up, I want to take, okay, so when you go to bed,
My next. Yeah.
you go to bed, you're so tired, you just got everything done homework wise and everything, you just studied up, or you're just up super late, whatever.
Yeah.
You set your alarm, everything's fine. You wake up in the morning and it's 1:00 in the afternoon because you stayed up so late. Come to find out, you set your alarm for PM instead of AM.
The amount of times, dude, that I've done that as a college student is awful. Awful.
So I'm going to put it under alarm malfunction, as in like it didn't go off or you just set it for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It falls under the same thing.
The worst, and I'm not going to like put this like as my pick, but like when you go to sleep and you're like exhausted and you like wake up and you're like, oh, I slept really good. You're like, oh, I beat my alarm clock. Like, that's awesome.
Mhm.
What time is it? Oh, I have 2 more hours to sleep. Dope. And you try to lay back down and you just
And
can't.
you can't fall asleep.
You can't go to sleep. Like, that sucks.
I'll that's my next pick. Anyway, keep going. What's up? What's next?
My third pick, this happens to me a lot as like a college student who like sometimes like makes food, sometimes warms up food. By the way, I made some awesome butter burgers today. Like,
dude, I need to come down there and like, I've got some plans. We'll talk about the behind the scenes and we'll see if it actually comes to fruition. Anyways, carry on.
It was awesome. Those butter burgers were they were delicious. But when I'm not like cooking food, I don't have money for takeout. I'm broke. I just have like a lot of frozen meals in my fridge, like a lot of them. Like I'm stockpiled. Like I have like 7. I have like 7.
I don't want to steal it, but I think I know what you're talking about. I don't want to steal your thunder though. Keep going.
I wonder. Okay. Well, I wonder if we're thinking the same. But I have like 7 frozen meals or whatever, and I'm like, all right, this is easy. Pop it in, you do everything, and like the outside of the frozen meal is like scalding hot, like burn, like it'll burn your mouth off. But you're like, okay, you just let it sit there for a minute to let it do its thing. And then you go to dig in, and like the center of it is just like ice cold.
Oh, dude, like awful. A cold hot pocket, but it's hot.
Like a cold, like exactly, like the outside is like super hot, but then the inside's like frozen, and you're like, how does that even happen?
What I'm gonna do, throwing it back to sleep because I know we're gonna be doing it very soon. It's very late, by the way. If people are listening to this later. When you take a nap, right? You take a nap, it's all warm and cozy and everything. Everything's all good. And then you wake up about maybe 2 hours later because you crashed for that long. And the biggest, most disgusting pile of sweat that you've ever had. Literally, me and you have played football, and I don't think that I've experienced this much sweat in the middle of practice, and I have maybe one nap.
Yeah, man.
And it's all because I forgot to turn on my ceiling fan or like my box fan. Like I know for a fact if I turn on my box fan, this thing is gonna knock me out for 4 or 5 plus hours flat. But like if I go to bed just for a quick little nap, even if it's a little 20-minute to 30-minute power nap, sometimes I sweat a little bit. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, nothing's wrong with me. It's just, I'm sweaty. For what? For why? Why is this a thing? So yeah, I'm going to say sweaty naps for round 3.
Round 3. Oh, this is bad. When you're taking a nice warm shower, and then someone either flushes the toilet or uses the water, and you're like nice and warm, and then out of nowhere it's just like ice cold. It ruins a shower. It really ruins a good shower.
I was gonna go a completely different route for these, but because we're giving fun little scenarios, like I like this, so this is good. What I'm going to do is, and this is more of the newer generation, if you're, probably if you're older than about maybe 25, you probably haven't really experienced anything like this. Throwing it back to about middle school, later middle school. It's about late November, early December, right before Christmas break, right?
Yeah.
You wake up and it's snowing, right? Everything's good and you're thinking, yes, snow day. your mom gets an email and it says it's an e-learning day. You still got homework to do.
Ugh.
E-learning day sucked, and it brought all of the fun out of a snow day possible. You still got a couple hours of homework to do, buddy. Go sit in the corner and do absolutely nothing for 2 hours. Go watch this stupid little YouTube video that your teacher made about God knows what, and you got to do an assignment about it an hour later. Like, what? No.
Watch a Khan Academy video.
Yeah, Khan Academy, dude. Screw you, bro. Let me go make a snowman. Enjoy my childhood.
Exactly.
Anyways, yeah, so I'm going e-learning days for that round 4 pick.
And this isn't going to be my 5th pick, but like one that always sucks to go off like that computer take is like at the end of the night. And as a college student, like I use my computer every day. Like it's like such an essential tool for me. When I like plug it in and then I wake up in the morning, throw it in my bag, all good to go, get in class, go to pull it out. Whoop, charger wasn't plugged in or like disconnected. Those are awful. But like really, like this is such an underrated, like bad thing. And it just happened to me as I was thinking about it. And this is going to screw you over here, bud. Breathing is a very like unconscious thing. Like we don't go throughout the day every 5 seconds.
You just turned on manual breathing for me.
Yeah,
you suck.
Yeah, exactly.
You just...
we don't go throughout our day thinking about breathing. But then when you think about it, you can't just not breathe because you're like, oh, it's gonna be unconscious, then you're gonna die. Like now you're thinking about breathing and now you have to think to breathe. And it's awful.
Dude, it's so bad. Yeah, you suck. Okay? Like you suck. Anyways. All right. So my last pick, we both have experience with it a lot. I'm gonna say bad customer experience, and not customer experience from your point of view, as far as walking in a door and seeing, these people work here for me. No, I'm talking about I'm working here and I have to deal with these idiots. Like, I don't get me wrong, okay? I love working at T-Mobile. I love it. People there that I'm working with are awesome. Love my job. Even regional radio sport, literally haven't run into any issues working at regional radio sports. Love that. But customers, as far as T-Mobile or literally any restaurant that I've worked at, there have been some serious jerks for no reason, and I catch the tail end of it. I don't know what phone call you just got done having, but I'm just trying to make your hamburger, ma'am. Like, this is nothing. I'm not trying to stir up anything else other than these noodles, bro. Like, leave me alone. Like, I don't know what you want from me. So I'm going to go ahead and say bad customer experience, but I'm sure there's some pretty honorable mentions, right?
Oh yeah. There's just a lot of things, man.
I mean, dude, I could go for all night. It's fine. We need to let you go. No. I'm going to say bills as a big thing too. I mean, I remember I paid it off after, anyways, but my car payment and everything, having to deal with, oh man, I got a nice check and everything, and understanding I worked for like, I want to say it was like $8.50 at one time at a place.
Oh, and the check is so much less than you expect.
No, it's more so, well, I mean, that works too. I'm just saying, like, being like, oh man, I get an extra $300, and as a freshman or sophomore, like, that's a lot of money. And so like, oh man, I got an extra $300. Like, what video game am I gonna buy? And then like, you get to like your junior year where you're driving, and then it's like, I have $100 car payment I got to pay for, like, and it's only $100.
Yeah,
but yeah. Anyways,
I'm adding a 6th one here.
What's up?
This is something me and you have faced over the last like month. When you're stressed as heck, you get home, you eat a good meal, you finish everything you need to do for the night, and you're like, do you know what sounds so good? Whip it up, turn it on the old super jet, okay? Turn it on. Turn it on the old super jet, and you hop in a party. You hop in a party, and you're like, all right, let's play some games. You go to click on the game, and it's like, need an update, and it's always it's never a quick update ever.
No.
It's like updates that go for like 5 hours. It's awful.
Dude, I just bought the new Call of Duty and it's pre-ordering, and I guarantee you there's some kind of update that's already needs for like 73 gigabytes of, and it's just like for no reason too. Like literally nothing changes in the game. It's just 73 gigabytes worth of bull crap that's gonna take all night. So when you come home from work at 9:00 and you're like, it's time for me to play my new Call of Duty, and then you sit down and it's like, nope, you have to wait till tomorrow. And it's like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, so why are you doing this to me? I was gonna say this. When you sit down and you boot up your PlayStation or your Xbox or whatever you want, and you're like, just sat down, just finished all the homework and everything that I have. I'm so excited. It's been a minute since me and the boys have played. It's time for me to play. And you hop in and you're able to talk to them and everything, except you are the only person out of the entire party with the bad Wi-Fi. It's so like, you're right here.
I'm getting shots fired at me, man.
But before I moved and I first met you, I was that guy. And I'll say it too. I used to live in Couts, Indiana. And if you could tell me what's in Couts, Indiana other than racism, then props to you. That's about it. That's about it. Racism and bad Wi-Fi. That's the only thing that's in. There's a gas station there too if you're lucky. But like, yeah, that's literally it. You blink, you're all the way through Couts. I promise you. But like, that's literally it. So yeah, no, I don't know. Anyways, I think we need to go to bed. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you watched all the way through, I want to say thank you. Stay tuned. Make sure that you're following us on all platforms. We want to give a big thank you to Overtime Sports Network, Anchor.fm, Uppercuts Grooving, Regional Radio Sports Network, probably forgetting one, but thank you guys for everything, for, supporting us and whatever.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We've got a lot planned. I promise everything's going to be coming to fruition at some point in time. But other than that, yes, thank you guys very much for watching all the way through and dealing with us as we're trying to go through a tired process of school. Anyways, all right, this is going to do it for episode 40. And stay tuned for the next 40 and the next 100 or whatever we got planned, because it's going to be good. So have a good rest of your night, guys. And thanks again for tuning in to the Pigskin Project.